Hello all. We're getting ready to move into our next section, which is on costume design. And before we can do that, we need to know the importance of costume sketches. As you remember, when we did scene design and scenery, the scene designer had a lot of tools at his disposal, sketches, drafting, all that sort of thing to convey the sense of what the set should look like. The costume designer has mostly costume sketches and costume rendering. So what we're going to work on first, excuse me, is how to sketch the human form. Now you may be saying to yourself, I can't draw. My answer is, I don't care. I'm going to show you some very simple procedures that anybody can do, and we're not looking for artwork here, just to convey a sense of a male and female form. Now, in your module on costume, you will have two figures, a nude male and a nude woman, which will have overlaid on them a grid much like this. This is known as the canon of the human body. Each one of these squares represents a human head. So, the human body in its ideal form is 8 heads high, 2 heads wide. So we're going to use this as a guide, and I'm going to show you how to sketch a man and a woman as quickly as possible so you don't have to spend too much time on this video. Now, when you sketch, under the conditions we are right now, any pencil will do. I do prefer one that has 2B on it. Probably can't see that, but this says 2B, which means it's fairly soft. HB is fine as well, and we'll discuss what that means later. HB is the same as the number 2 pencil. You can use that if you want. I would prefer you not to use a mechanical pencil, because this is sketching. It's different from drafting, and it's different from drawing. When we talk about drawing, mostly that's one continuous line. As you're going to see with sketching, we're going to do a series of short lines. So we're going to do a man first, on this one, and then I'll switch right over and we'll do a woman as quickly as possible. And we're just doing the nude outline. We're not putting in details. We're just getting an outline of the character. So let's start. I'm going to use my lead holder. This is my personal favorite. I feel comfortable with it. It's the same as a 2B pencil. It should do fine. Okay, let's get started. We have 8 heads, 2 heads. You have these, by the way, in your module as well. I think it says figure drawing template. And we'll have these squares to help guide you, so you can print as many of those out as you need for this purpose. The lines won't be as dark here. I've darkened them so you'll be able to see them on the screen. Alright, let's see if we can get started. Now, look how I'm holding my pencil. I'm not choking it to death. Nice, loose, comfortable grip. So try not to grip it to death. And I'm going to draw. Again, I'm doing sideways so my big old head doesn't get in the way. So it'll be a little diff. This is a man. We're going to make it a little blockier. Yes, it's a stereotype. And look how I'm drawing. A series of sketches. One head. Should be self-explanatory. Kind of split in the middle. There. Blocky. And the neck, we'll talk about how wide the neck is. It's fairly wide. It goes in. Now, I'm going to draw out the shoulders, which have a slight slant. I'm not going to do arms to the last. That's the very last thing. Now, according to the canon of the human body, the chest stops at the second section. Torso is pretty straight, and then the crotch is halfway down. So there we go. You can see I'm not going all the way out. You don't need to. The widest part should be the shoulders, for the most part. So now, I want to do the thighs. That goes from sections 5, covers sections 5 and 6. I'm doing kind of a tapered rectangle. See what I'm doing there? And look how I'm drawing this. I'm sketching. Like I said, it's not a continuous straight line because that's ugly. It's kind of wobbly, kind of gooey. We're sketching a series of short lines. I like to put a circle where the knees are. Now, this is very important. I'm going to draw the calf. Again, it could be a little wide, a flared rectangle, kind of like a cone with a tip come off of it. Try not to draw this straight down. If you do, you'll have fat ankles or cankles. Nobody wants cankles. And then last, the feet. And if you look at the drawing, they kind of look like hooves. Look at that. Now let's go back and do the arms. I like to kind of put a little flare here, and the arms come down from that flare. You can see, right? Like you got shoulder pads. Arms come down there. The elbow will stop at the 3rd quadrant. Again, tapered rectangle to crotch size. You can also just do them straight like that if you want. I kind of like the idea there's a wing thing. It's like a robot. Now, what you can do if you take your hand, I'm not going to get on camera because just because, and you put it over your face, you will see your hand is as big as your face. So we're going to do little lobster claws first. They go about halfway down. Make them pretty big. They're little mitts. Okay, not bad for someone who drew it from the side. Let's do a face, shall we? This nice burly man here, okay? We're going to do the eyes first. In the Canon, the eyes are in the exact middle of the head. Eyes are a little trickier. Pardon me while I sharpen my lead holder. Lovely. Okay. So halfway down you draw a line. Now, halfway between that line and this line, draw another little line. That's going to be the bottom of the nose. And then halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin, draw another line. That's the mouth. Our heads are 5 eyes wide. Just find the place. Don't do the whole eye. Here's what I want to do. I just do the top and a little squiggly for the eyes. Don't waste detail on this stuff. Nose will be inside of eye to inside of eye. Mouth is usually pupil to pupil. Also, pupil to pupil is what the neck is. I'm going to do a little erasing. Pardon me. These lines are really thick, so I'm going to just ease them up a little bit. Ears, generally top of eye to bottom of nose. There we go, we got a fella. Okay, let's do a woman over here, okay? Again, we're a little more feminine. It's kind of an oval. Again, I'm drawing from the side, so if it's a little lopsided, I'm real sorry about that. Sloping shoulders. Necks are generally also, if you look at a neck, it'll be also outside of eye to outside of eye. And I know I'm just kind of doing it. So when women, there tends to be an issue with making the neck a little too pencil necky, a little too thin, so err on the side of outside, or going a little thicker. Sloping shoulders. Now we're going to do, women taper in at the waist, and they flare out. The hips are going to be level with your socket. They're a little wider than men's. The blessing of childbirth. Okay, now, one thing we do have to continue, and this is real hard to do, the bust line. Just kind of, don't go crazy. Kind of upside down question marks for now. Again. Tapered. We'll do ovals. Try not to get in the way here. Tapered. No water on the ankles, please. And again, if you look at the feet head on, they're kind of like little hoof shapes. Elbow. A little bit behind the breast is cool. Well, swing that in. And the thumb is on the inside, so you always put like thumb and then some lobster claws. Boop, boop. It's okay if you want to animate them out a little bit so you have big eyes, particularly on the women characters. Nose and a bit of a heart-shaped mouth. Again, stereotypes, I know. Okay, let's give them a little hair, shall we? Now remember, hair is not plastered to the head. I'm going to do the man wrong, and then I'll do the women right. So, trying to draw individual hairs just makes it kind of messy. Remember, hair is a shape. So draw the shape and make sure you leave generous amount on the outside. It's good to have a picture to go by. You can see it sits on top of the head, not plastered, and it's one shape. Later on we can come in and shade and do all that fun stuff, but remember that hair is a shape, so do that first. So we always do faces because actors have faces. I know some costume renderers don't do faces. I'm not of that school, so you will not be doing that either. You will add your faces, please. Okay. If I had to critique myself, I'd say I'd like my woman, not my man so much. He's a little broad-shouldered, but again, my excuse is that I'm drawing from the side. So, and under dress, because I'm doing a tutorial as well. But that's not a you problem, that's a me problem. Okay, so there we go. There's two forms that you can draw. I hope this will help. It's a little tricky doing this as a video, so I'll be happy to answer any questions. And then when we come back next week, what I'll do is I'll have these cleaned up. I have better forms, I promise. And I'll show you how we put, a little bit about research and putting clothes on them. And maybe a little bit of shading if we have time. So I hope this will help. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you need more video guidance, and I will be happy to, what's the word I'm looking for? Do that, I guess. Okay, well, thank you, and goodbye.